As you're walking with people through the journey of sexual integrity and dealing with sexual issues, you may be wondering, when do I refer to a professional counselor? And that's an important thing to ask. Well, of course, anytime there's a mental health illness involved, you're going to want to have a mental health professional involved. So that would include things like depression, anxiety, any kind of psychotic issues or personality disorders. So if you see signs of those, eating disorders, you want to refer. But when dealing specifically with sexual issues, it's helpful to think of 3 A's that would prompt you to refer to a counselor. So the first A is addiction. Now, there's a difference between somebody who's occasionally struggling with pornography and someone who has a full-blown sexual addiction. They can't stop. The pornography or the acting out is becoming just more and more rampant. It's destroying relationships. When you see those kinds of signs, you really want to refer to somebody who understands sexual addiction. The second A is when there's been sexual abuse or trauma. The more we learn about the impact of sexual abuse and that kind of deep trauma, the more we understand that you really need somebody who can walk with you through trauma recovery, and that is a specialty. And so you want to refer if there's sexual abuse involved. And the third A to think about is if there's been an affair. Now, you would say, why does that rise to the level of needing a professional counselor? And the reason why is because recovering from betrayal and affairs is a complicated thing. Somebody who's a counselor and just maybe very well-meaning might encourage that couple too soon to walk through steps of forgiveness and maybe re-engaging in sexual intimacy without taking the time to really look at what happened, allowing for the space of the grief of that, and rebuilding intimacy. And so those are the 3 things you want to keep in mind, the 3 A's, which are addiction, abuse, and affairs. And let me tell you one more thing to remember. Just because you refer to a counselor doesn't mean that your job is over. That person that you're walking with still needs a friend, still needs a mentor to be discipled, and so you still have a very important part to play, even if you refer to an outside counselor.